Hello everyone and welcome back. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use the knob and dial input plugin in Bubble. Now this plugin is really useful when you want to add interactive dial controls to your application, things like dashboards, analytics tools, gauges, or any interface where users need to adjust values visually instead of typing numbers. Think of it like the dial on a piece of equipment. You rotate it and the value changes instantly. And the nice thing about this plugin is that it works smoothly on both desktop and mobile devices, so users can interact with it using a mouse or touch. All right, let's walk through how to set this up in Bubble. First, open the Bubble application where you want to use the plugin. Once you're inside the editor, head over to the plugin section on the left side of the screen. Now look toward the right side. You'll see a button labeled Add Plugins. Go ahead and click that. A plugin marketplace window will appear, and this is where we can search for new plugins to install. In the search bar, type knob and dial input. Once the plugin appears in the results, you'll notice that it requires a purchase. So what you'll do here is click the buy button, then follow the prompts to enter your billing and payment details. And once the purchase is complete, Bubble will automatically install the plugin into your application. Now, if we return to our plugin list, you should see the knob and dial input plugin installed. If we open it, we can quickly look at what comes with the plugin. You'll notice two main things here. First, there's an element called knob. And second, there's an event called knob value is changed. We'll use the element to place the dial on our page, and the event will allow us to react whenever a user changes the dial value. So now that we understand what the plugin provides, let's move over to the Design tab and add it to our page. Inside the Elements panel on the left, we'll search for the element provided by the plugin. Type knob into the search field. You should now see the knob element appear in the list. Go ahead and drag that element onto your page. And just like that, and the dial control is now part of your interface. What you're seeing here is the interactive knob that users will rotate to adjust values. Now let's configure how this knob behaves. When the element is selected, you'll see several properties in the property editor. For example, and we can set the initial value. This simply determines where the dial starts when the page loads. We can also define the minimum value and the maximum value. So if your dial represents something like a percentage, and you might set the minimum to 0 and the maximum to 100. Next, we can adjust the step value. The step determines how much the value changes as the user rotates the dial. So a smaller step gives you more precision, while a larger step makes the dial move in bigger increments. Now, besides functionality, we can also customize the appearance. For example, we can change the foreground color, which is the color of the active dial. We can also change the background color, the font color, and even the font size. You'll also notice settings like dial handle size, angle offset, and arc increase. These control how the dial is drawn and how it rotates. So depending on the type of interface you're building, you can adjust these settings to match your design perfectly. Now let's talk about something important and how the plugin communicates with workflows. Remember earlier we saw that the plugin includes an event called knob value is changed. What this means is that whenever a user rotates the dial, Bubble can detect that change. And once Bubble detects it, we can trigger workflows based on the new value. For example, now you might update a dashboard metric, adjust a system setting, or filter analytics data in real time. So this simple dial can actually become a very powerful interactive control inside your application. All right, now let's see the knob in action. To do that, so go to the top right corner of the editors and click Preview. Once the page loads, try rotating the dial. You'll notice that as you move it, the value updates smoothly. And this interaction feels very natural, especially on touch devices. So instead of typing numbers, users can simply rotate the dial until they reach the value they want. And that's it. So you've now added an interactive knob and dial control to your Bubble application. This type of control works really well for dashboards, control panels, analytics tools, and interactive settings pages. Hopefully, this tutorial gives you a clear idea of how to install the plugin, configure it, and start using it in your own applications. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out via the chatbot on the ZeroCode website or by email at support@zeroqode.com.